Hiring employees into a company can feel a little bit like a hit or miss process where you're just not confident about how the person you're hiring will work out in the long run. It can be uncertain and feel like you're taking a big leap of faith. While there are no guarantees in life, there are definitely ways to improve your odds of hiring great people and getting stronger on your hiring process. And this is especially important for all of your senior hires. Welcome back to Agile Growth with Shri. This is a place for CEOs, business owners, and entrepreneurs to find actionable ideas, tools, and frameworks that helps them grow their business faster. Hi, I'm Shri Seshadri. I'm a CEO and senior leadership team coach, and I help my clients build enduring companies. And I do that by using my framework called the 5 Drivers of Agile Growth, where we focus on strategy, execution, culture, cash flow, and talent. Let's begin by discussing the most common mistakes that companies make in the hiring process. Being unprepared, wherein they're just not clear about what is needed in a job or in a role. Poor sourcing, where they have a weak flow of candidates in the talent pipeline. Rushing to fill the roles very late in the process. This happens when you begin the hiring process only after you have an open position. Now you're in a time crunch and you need to fill the role ASAP. It's a form of being reactive versus proactive. A weak fit with culture, when there's basically organ rejection in form of them quitting, you having to let them go, or them not really fully integrating and never doing their best work at your company. Ineffective interviewing process. You don't trust your ability to pick out the right candidate from a group of similar looking candidates. Inadequate reference checks. This is a common regret for people where they feel that many of the challenges they're facing with their employees are things that could have been avoided if only they'd done better reference checks. And finally, inability to hire the candidates they really want to join their team. This is when you find the great people, they go through the process, everything is looking good, they're successful, but at the end of the day, you're not able to convince them to join your team. As you can see, there's quite a few things that can trip us up as we try to build great teams. I know I've kind of painted a picture where I've kind of highlighted all the challenges in hiring, but the silver lining is that the who problems are easily preventable. With this context, I want to introduce you to an excellent resource when it comes to hiring. It's the book Who by Geoff Smart and Randy Street. In this book, the authors present a very robust process that is based on rigorous research that any company can implement, and it has a 90% success rate. By understanding and applying this rigorous method, you can dramatically improve your ability to hire great people. Now, the book is organized into 4 sections. You have scorecard, source, select, and sell. In my earlier videos, I've already talked about the job scorecard and sourcing good candidates. So let's shift our focus to select. This book has excellent ideas on different types of interviews conducted by different people with very different purposes. And so let me summarize by talking about the 4 different types of interviews that is part of this process. First, you begin with the screening interview. The screening interview is a short, phone-based interview designed to clear out the B and C players from your roster of candidates. In this interview, you will ask 4 questions. What are your career goals? What are you really good at professionally? What are you not good at or not interested in doing professionally? Who are your last 5 bosses? And how would they rate you on a scale of 1 to 10 when we talk to them? Second, you conduct the top grading interview. This is a chronological walk of a person's career. You begin by asking about the highs and the lows of a person's educational experience to gain insight into his or her background. And then you ask 5 simple questions for each job in the past. What were you hired to do? What accomplishments are you most proud of? What were some low points during that job? Who were the people you worked with? Why did you leave that job? The third interview is the focused interview. This interview is about getting to know more and is similar to the commonly used behavioral interview, but with one major difference. It is focused on the outcomes and competencies of the scorecard, not on some vaguely defined job description or the manager's intuition. The final interview is the reference interview. There are 3 things you have to do to have successful reference interviews. First, pick the right references. You want to review your notes through the Tograding Interview and identify who are the bosses, peers, and subordinates with whom you want to speak to. Second, ask the candidate to contact the references to set up those calls. Third, conduct the right number of reference interviews. Ideally, you should personally do about 4 and ask your colleagues to do 3 more for a total of 7 reference interviews, which will be a thorough reference check. At this point, you're in a good position to decide who to hire. The final step in this process is sell. When you find the right person, you have to ensure that you can sell them on the opportunity. The book recommends focusing on 5 areas: fit, family, freedom, fortune, and fun. These are the 5 big motivators when someone is making a big move, and you should address them effectively. I've just given you a very high-level overview of the book. I hope you go out and buy this book and you read it, and you also have every member of your leadership team read it, and then you start applying it and improving your hiring process. So far in this video series, we have discussed the importance of talent. We've talked about culture and core values and sourcing good candidates, about creating a job scorecard for every role, and using the WHO method to hire A players. In my next video, I'm going to introduce you to a framework that'll be really helpful for assessing and developing your talent. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it valuable. Please feel free to share, like, and comment. If you have any questions or feedback for me, please leave that in the comments below. And make sure you check out my next video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.